Who doesn't love a biscuit? I don't know anybody that doesn't love a biscuit. How about y'all? You know, it just, a meal down south, it just goes to, you know, assume that you're going to get a biscuit with your meal. But today I want to share with y'all, and this is, again, from my Celebrates cookbook. It's just full of so many wonderful recipes. But I'm going to share with y'all today a sweet potato biscuit. And to do this biscuit, I'm going to be using the food processor. And I'm putting in the sweet potato, the cooked, peeled, mashed sweet potato.
Actually, that's a can.
You did use can?
That's what it says in the recipe.
I thought it was a fresh one. All right, now I'm going to put in the sugar. And I'm going to put in, it looks like a half a stick of butter. So I'm going to put the top on this. And I like to kind of pour. It just makes me feel like I got a little control. All right, now I've got my flour, my plain flour, and I'm going to add some sugar. Is that right? No, that's salt. Baking soda. And baking powder. Right, Teresa?
Mm-hmm. Baking soda, baking powder.
Boo! Let me come over here and look so I can give you the exact measurements. It's 3/4 of a cup of canned sweet potato, drained and mashed and then measured. 4 tablespoons, a half stick of butter, 1/4 of a cup of sugar that's in here, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt, and finally 1/3 of a cup of buttermilk. So there you've got the exact measurements. So it tells you to just sift these together. But I have shared with y'all that when it tells me to sift, I'll just use my whisk because it's kind of like sifting it. I'm just going to add the flour through a little hole up here. I'm going to make sure I get it in the hole. And I'm not going to put it all at one time. I'm going to slowly add it. I wish it had a bigger mouth. What is going on? Okay, it's forming a ball, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the buttermilk. Y'all, I love using an old tablecloth that's been used that's soft. I love using that for my flour board. And if my memory serves me right, this was one of my mother's tablecloths. And I have toted it from here to Hayhira. Everywhere I go, it's been with me. So we're going to turn our dough out onto my mother's tablecloth. And I'm going to put down some flour because we are going to knead this. It was in a firm ball until I added the buttermilk. So now we're going to have to get it out of here, and we're going to have to add more flour to it to bring it back to that ball that it had formed. So here we go. It's going to take a good bit of flour. So we're going to start adding the flour. and start our kneading process. I love the feel of dough. It feels so good. It feels real good. I think I brought just enough bench flour. And it's going to take it about to where it needs to be. And you heard me say bench flour. That's what we referred to as flour that we had sitting on the bench. For us to add to our rolling pin and our to our surface that we're cooking on. All right, now my instructions tell you to roll this into like an 8 by 10 rectangle. And I think it's makes like about an inch deep. All right. You think that's an 8 by 10, Eddie?
Looks more like maybe a 9 by 9 or 8 by 8.
It's supposed to be a rectangle.
Gotta stretch it a little more.
Yeah. And my instructions say to cut your rectangle into triangles. Okay. You know what, Eddie? I think it needs kneading some more because that's a very soft ball. So I'm gonna keep working it. I don't like to overwork a biscuit, but I don't want it too soft either, you know? So, all right, let's try with a rectangle again. Am I getting close to an 8 by 10?
Yeah, it kind of looks.
Kind of looks like an 8 by 10.
That does, yeah.
Okay. Hey, Mikey Mike. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
What y'all cooking?
We're making sweet tater biscuits.
Yum.
2, 4, 6. It's supposed to make 12 rectangular biscuits. So there's 1, 2, 3. How many is that now? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Still short, aren't I? 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. All right, so mine must be thicker this go around. So I'm gonna do 10. What you think?
Looks good.
Does look good, doesn't it? All right, now let's see. I need a pan. I'm gonna spray my baking sheet. And when I make biscuits, I like to make my biscuits where they're touching because I love those soft sides to it. So let's see if I can accomplish that here. I may have to do it like that that one's gonna be a thick biscuit. And you see I'm reversing them. You know, turning the big end one way and then on the other, turning it the other way. So there we go. These biscuits might be a little bigger than those biscuits. Okie dokie. Now for the good part, because I'm gonna rub them with a little butter, because I don't, let me get it real soft, because I want to cover that flour. You know, I don't want it to be white on top because of the flour on it. I tell you what, it would behoove me to melt some butter, I think, y'all, and just brush it on. Okay, y'all, this is gonna be much easier than trying to spread that butter, even though it's been on the counter. It's cold outside, so it won't get really soft just sitting on the counter. So this is definitely easier. In fact, you don't have to even do this step at all. This is just me, because I want that flour to be kind of covered up. I don't want my biscuit to look real white. So I'm gonna bake these in a 400-degree oven for about 10 minutes. And when I take them out, I'm gonna serve them with some of my honey, some Paula Deen honey that is so, so good, and butter. Okay, so in the oven it goes 10 minutes, 400 degrees, y'all. That's a big biscuit. 10 minutes at 450, y'all. And they're light golden on top, and they're getting nice and brown on the bottom. All right, now I mixed up some honey butter. So I just took honey and butter and mixed it together. So I want to make sure these are hot, just out of the oven. Wow. It kind of makes for an unusual shape. Look, it reminds me of a scone now. That honey butter makes this biscuit insane. It's so good, y'all. And if you don't like honey, you don't have to eat it with honey. You can use just butter, or butter and jam, or just jam. You can use a biscuit cutter and cut them, or you can cut them into the rectangles. Whatever suits your fancy. And there we go. She's starting to whine, isn't she? Mm-hmm. That's because you're sitting there. She's waiting on a T-R-E-A-T. And I'm the only one that's getting a T-R-E-A-T right this minute.
They won't let me give you a treat, Piglet.
Love and best dishes, y'all.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.